Hello, everyone. I'm back again, reading out of the book of Expert Secrets. But before I begin to read out of the book of Expert Secrets, I want to talk about the Super Affiliate Network. In the beginning, remember, um, I told you all that Dagan Smith was my mentor, Misha Wilson's mentor and coach as well. Well, he is going to be coming back to the Super Affiliate Network. Dagan Smith is, and I hope that we all get to meet Dagan Smith, who taught Misha Wilson on his journey to where he is on today. And we're going to continue to read out of Expert Secrets and that we follow the steps along the process. And excuse me for saying affinity bridge, but it's Effany Bridge. And I will be reading out of the Effany Bridge, continuing right here. And we're going to begin the Effany Bridge. And this is what Russell Brunson was talking about. Effany emotional logic. Think about it. You didn't buy into the new opportunity because of all the logical technical babble. You bought it because of some emotional experience that happened before you geeked out. You had an epiphany first, and that caused you to move forward. People don't buy logically, they buy based on emotion. Then they use logic to justify the purpose decision they've already made. For example, let's say I purchase a Ferrari. I am emotionally invested in the feeling I wanted to have when I'm driving it. That's why I bought the Ferrari, or a big house, expensive clothes, watches, etc. But then I have no logical justify to myself, my friends, or my spouse why it is worth spending all that money. I have to explain how it gets better gas mileage. It was on sale. It came with a great warranty. Logic is justification for the emotional attachment I've already made. If you think about it, there's status consideration on both sides of this equation. I'm emotionally attached to the status that the new Ferrari will give me, but then I need to justify it logically to my friends and family so I don't lose status in their minds. But good luck selling me logically. If I don't already have the emotional connection with that car, it's pretty much impossible. Logic doesn't sell. Emotions doesn't sell. And that's one thing we got to learn, that logic doesn't sell it all and emotions doesn't sell it all. You have to give a person a reason to want to buy your product that you're selling. So to create those emotions, you have to go back and remember what it was that gave you the epiphany that caused you to believe in the new opportunity. That story, your epiphany bridge story, provides the emotional connection and bridges the gap from the emotional to the logical side. If you can tell a story about how you got your big aha, and if you structure for that story right, they will have the same epiphany and will sell themselves on your product or service. Then they'll look for ways to logically justify the purchase and learn all the technical babble on their own. Your job is to learn how to sell these stories in a way that will lead people to the epiphany, and they will do the rest. So, my first question for you is, what was your core epiphany bridge story that convinced you of the one thing you are sharing with others? That's something we have to do. When we tell our story, we have to share it with others as well. Just like Russell, he's sharing his story with us as well, so that we'll be able to share our stories with others as well. I want to think back to the original experience that gave you your first epiphany that brought you on this journey. Do you remember what happened? What was happening around you? How did you feel? It's important to remember those details. They are the key to telling a good story. Effective storytelling. And speaking of storytelling, my mentor, Misha Wilson, he's doing some videos right now on YouTube on telling people how to begin in storytelling as well. And that's what I'm doing. I'm storytelling as well. Telling someone else's story, but eventually I will tell my own story. And in the process of effective storytelling, you have to have something in there that's happened in your life, which I'm telling a story as well now because I done had some things to happen in my life that got me to the point to where I am today. So we're going to move forward in effective storytelling. Have you ever noticed that two people can tell the same story with completely different outcomes? In one, you're emotionally a captive and engaged. Then someone else tells you a story about the exact same experience and you fall asleep. What what's the difference? What makes some people better storytellers than others? There are lots of reasons, but you don't have to know them to tell a great story that gets prospects to buy. It only takes a couple of things to really make a capacity and interest story. The first key to telling capacity stories is oversimplification. When you're telling stories, you need to speak it about a third grade level. Many of you will struggle with this because you like to use big words and show off your vocabulary. And some things I'm good at pronouncing the words, and some I'm not. And I think everybody is the same way. Many of you will struggle with this because you like to use big words and show off your vocabulary and try to sound sophisticated and smart. There may be a time and a place for that, but it's not when you're telling stories. People are used to discussing information at about a third grade level. When you go above that, you start losing people quickly. There is a reason the news stations speak to their audience at that level. During the 2016 primary election, a study looked at the speeches of the Republican candidates and ran them through the Fletch Kincaid that test shows the grade level of their speech. Trump averaged a third to fourth grade level on each of his speeches, where other candidates like Ted Cruz and a ninth grade level, and both Ben Carson and Mike Huckabee were at the eighth grade level. Using big words may make you feel smarter, but it will not influence others. But sometimes you have to talk about complex ideas. So, how do you take a complicated idea and simplify it quickly? You do this using a kind of like bridge. What they understand is a kind of like new concept. And this is a picture of the kind of like bridge that Russell drew. And I hope everyone is getting some value out of this. But I can't believe Trump was at a third grade level because he was want to use big words. And some of us, we all want to use big words, but we can't because everybody is not on the same level. Everyone is on a different level as well. So kind of like bridge, what they understand is a kind of like and new concept. I am going to continue reading on the kind of like bridge in the next video because I don't want to move too fast for some people, so they'll get the understanding of what I'm talking about and the purpose of reading this book along this journey. So I hope you all got some value on today and some education, and I will be continue to read out of the book of Expert Secrets in my next video, and we'll be talking about the kind of like bridge. What they understand is kind of like a new concept. And y'all have a great day.